watching the TV3 Sports Action Arena. And tonight, the Action Arena presents state championship hockey from the Mennen Arena in Morris Township. We'll feature the Delbarton Green Wave and the Montclair Mounties. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mennen Arena for tonight's state championship hockey game between Delbarton and Montclair. I'm Paul Spahala. Now, many times, everyone is talking about the qualities and the traits of championship teams, and often what is mentioned is an ability to come from behind and win. And both these teams in the semifinals on Monday displayed that ability. Working with me on tonight's broadcast, Pete Caggiano. And Pete, both teams did display an ability to come from behind. Let's start first of all with Delbarton, the Mennen Cup champions. They were down by 2 goals late in the game. They scored 3 in the final 3 minutes to make it here this evening.
Delbarton came back in the last 2.5 minutes with 3 goals, scoring the game winner with just under 1 minute to go against St. Joseph's for a spectacular victory. As you said earlier, Paul, they were the Mennen Cup champions.
And also we have the Gordon Cup champions, which represents the northern part of New Jersey. Montclair, they trailed at 1 point against Bergen Catholic 4-1, but yet they came back for a victory.
They were trailing early in the game. It was still the first period when they were trailing. By the time the third period came, they had the game well in hand. But tonight, Bruce Parker and John Magadini will have their troops ready.
The other quality sometimes people speak about when there are good teams involved is how deep they are and how young they are. This is a very young Delbarton team, especially with a person we're going to look at right now, Derek Maguire, who scored that winning goal against St. Joseph's, and he is as young as you can get on the high school level.
Derek Maguire is just a freshman. He really impressed me Monday night in the game against St. Joseph's. Besides scoring the winning goal with just under a minute to go, his total play that night, his poise and his character really surprised and impressed me.
But when you speak of youth, you have to speak about this Montclair team. Pete, of their first 4 lines, 12 players, 10 of them are underclassmen.
And the big one is Dave McLean. In the game Monday night against Bergen Catholic, he had 3 goals. Dave, along with his teammate Phil Mandry, who also chipped in 3, had the game pretty well in hand by the time the third period rolled around.
That's right, Dave McLean, 3 goals and 3 assists. Phil Mandry, his line mate, also had 3 goals. This is an explosive offensive Montclair team, but some people think defense may play a big part in who wins this game, and if so, Montclair has a big advantage, and they have an outstanding goalkeeper in Ed Krupp with 2 years varsity experience.
With Ed Krupp in goal and Marty Statlander on defense, the defensive edge has to go to Montclair tonight.
The emotional edge, however, may belong to Delbarton because of Coach Magadini.
This is John Magadini's last game as a coach. John has been coaching in the North Jersey area for many, many years, both on the amateur level as well as the scholastic level. And he announced earlier this season this would be his last year, and he's hoping to go out with a win.
The state championship is on the line tonight, Delbarton and Montclair, and we'll face it off in just a moment from the Mennen Arena. We'll be right back. The crowd is ready here at the Mennen Arena in Morris Township for tonight's state championship game between Delbarton in the green and the Montclair Mounties, who will be wearing the white and blue today. And there you see a good look at the crowd, the Delbarton side on your screen right now. And since we're talking about the Green Wave, let's meet their starting team for today. Delbarton, 21-6-3 on the season, will start Chris Von Zuben on the left wing. Peter Laser is the center. Pete Ramsey is on the right wing. Derek Maguire, who we met in the open, is one of the starting defensemen, along with Paul Wagenbach. Huddled in the middle of that group, wearing number 25, is John Boyer. John is the starting goalkeeper for the Green Wave. For the Montclair Mounties, who are 21-4-2 on the season under Bruce Parker, they will start this way. Dave McLean is the left wing. Bill Morris will start tonight at center. Phil Mandry is the right wing. Marty Statlander and Darren List are the 2 defensemen. And the fine goalkeeper for Montclair, who we spoke of in the open, junior Ed Krupp. Only 51 goals allowed this season, an average of 2.31. John Boyer had an excellent game in the semifinals against St. Joseph. He came up with 23 saves. And we are underway from Mennen Arena. Mandry dumps the puck in. McLean ridden off the puck. Paul Spahala, Pete Caggiano on the call of the 1987 New Jersey State Hockey Championship. Dumped into the defensive end. Darren List comes up with it for the Mounties. Sort of a dangerous move, skating in front of Krupp. But they come up the right wing for Mandry. He's ridden off the play. Statlander picking up the puck. Slight change for Montclair in their starting lineup tonight, Pete. They went with Bill Morris at center in place of his brother John Morris. Bill had 3 assists Monday night.
Bill Morris is also a senior and their captain. Maybe they're looking for a little leadership from him tonight.
And there are not that many seniors on this Montclair team. A junior-dominated, underclassmen-dominated team. Whipped around the boards. Delbarton has already made a change. Lonergan sends it back to the point. Second shift is on for the Green Wave. Looking to go back to the point. Herkula will pick it up there. And finally, Statlander will clear it for the Mounties. And he'll decide to send it in as we get a Montclair line change.
Just an offsides call, but a very smart play by Boyer as the puck was shot wide. It hit the boards and came right through the crease. It cannot enter the net being propelled from behind unless it deflects off the goaltender. He did the smart thing to leave it alone, let it come through, and then a defenseman picked it up. There we took a look at Gene Griffin, one of our officials tonight, dropping the puck.
He's working with Jim Flaherty.
There's a picture of Jim.
And Gene Griffin once again getting ready to drop the puck just outside the Montclair offensive zone. And Krupp will make his first save of the day, and it will be an easy one. 13 minutes left in the first period. Along the near boards, the puck is pried loose by Kennard Rhodes. Rhodes still with the puck. Tried to send it back to the point, and it crosses the blue line, so Montclair will have to regroup. And there will be offsides on the play.
Paul, Montclair does that quite a bit. They like to use their points, especially once they've gained control inside the zone. That time the pass was off the mark and caused an offside. But look for Montclair to use their points. There's a look at Bruce Parker, the coach of Montclair.
4th season in charge of the Montclair Mounties. 12:48 left in the first period. Once again, Delbarton in the green, Montclair in the white and blue. Finally, the puck cleared away. Lost in a maze of bodies for a moment, and finally Montclair able to get it out.
Montclair was very lucky that time, Paul. That was a dangerous situation. It was loose right in the slot. Nobody knew where it was, and if not for Marty Statlander, a quick swipe of the puck to knock it away from the attacking Delbarton players, we might have seen a goal.
John Magadini, 5 years at Delbarton, an impressive 89, 31, and 11 record. And he'll only have to add one more win, loss, or, well, actually win or loss. There won't be a tie this evening. As we mentioned in the open, this is John Magadini's final coaching appearance. List skating around. He's got Statlander on his left. He'll send it up to McLean. The #1 line is back on for Montclair. Statlander picking up the puck. He'll cross the red line and send it in. Mandry got a good shot off the rebound off the boards. And I don't know if Boyer kicked it away or whether it just went across the crease in front. Bill Morris comes up with it. but it is stripped away by the defense. Hercula with the play.
Paul, that's a planned play. Montclair is trying to exploit the defense of Delbarton by using the speed of their forwards, dumping the puck in the corner, and then out-racing the defenseman to the puck. There we saw the shot go just wide, but that's a planned play by Montclair.
Statlander, good check along the board, keeping Lonergan from the puck. It allows his teammate, Darren List, to get for it. And this is again List coming around his own net. Up pass too far. Derek Maguire intercepts for Delbarton. And again, Maguire with puck control near the red line. Keep an eye on Derek Maguire for Delbarton. He had a very good game in the semifinals on Monday. Two-on-two break. Picked away by Darren List. Maguire tries to go in 1-on-4. Puck stripped away from him, and Delbarton will have to regroup. Kicked away.
Paul, a lot of open ice play, a lot of center ice play. Not too much as far as shots so far. We're 5 minutes into the game, but both goaltenders appear to be all right tonight. Sometimes they're a little tentative, and you want that first shot to be an easy one to get you in the game. And I think both goaltenders are over that point now.
Rhodes behind the net for Montclair. Trying to find someone in front, wanted to find John Frank, but it was slapped away by a defenseman. Here come the Green Wave. And our first confrontation of the evening between goalie and winger. Ed Krupp not so happy with Laser skating through. But notice the puck hits the boards behind the net and takes a funny hop right there. Oh, that's Ramsey coming in. Gives a little poke to Krupp. Probably not necessary, but showing the aggressive style of Delbarton and just letting Krupp know there is a team out there looking to get him. That's twice tonight. Once at each end, we've had a favorable offensive bounce of the puck. I think Krupp thought it was going to hit and go around the net. Statlander fammed on his clearing attempt. Here come the Mounties, 2-on-3. And we'll have our first penalty as soon as Delbarton gains control. Puck still loose, shot kicked away, still in front, and Boyer finally covers up. And as tempers rise in front, Montclair will have a one-man advantage.
Montclair gained the advantage of pulling their goaltender on the delay, getting out the sixth attacker.
Number 19, Green tripping.
There we hear it from Gene Griffin, number 19 of Delbarton. John Hercula will sit 2 minutes for tripping. Here's the play along the boards. This is what happened after the penalty. The shot is taken. There's Boyer with the first save. And there you see him fall and hold on to the puck as the players converge right in front of Boyer.
So Hercula, a freshman, will sit for 2.
Oh, what created that penalty was the speed of Montclair. He beat Hercula to the outside, and the only chance he had was to stick check him. He missed the puck and took his skates out from underneath him. That's why he'll sit for 2 minutes.
Clearing attempt hit Statlander in the chest, but he kept it in. Rhodes Tries to go to the point. He's got Statlander. He'll wind it up. It hits Boyer in the pads. Loose puck, and it's in. Goal. Dave McLean picking up where he left off on Monday evening. His 31st goal of the season on the power play.
And what started the play was the shot from the point by Marty Statlander. Boyer made the initial save, but Dave McLean was able to swoop in, pick up the loose puck right on the top part of the crease, and he put it home. There the pass comes from the corner. Stopped by Statlander, quick wrist shot, there's the save. Now notice, nobody knows where it is. There's McLean coming in, popping it home for a 1-0 lead. And Montclair has scored first.
The assist from number 16, Marty Statlander, and number 13, Phil Pingry, on the power play goal, 6:32 of the first period.
1-0. Montclair, the goal coming at 6:32. Assist credited to Marty Statlander and Phil Mandry. And again on the power play.
Paul, the defenseman who was victimized on that was Derek Maguire. He didn't know the puck was right at his feet and could easily have cleared it if he saw it. Unfortunately, nobody told him it was there, and that allowed Dave McLean to come in and pop home the rebound.
7:47 left in the first period. Montclair leading 1-0. Again, McLean from Statlander and Mandry. And Bruce Parker and the Mounties have a 1-0 advantage here in the first period of play in the state championship. Here comes Kennard Rhodes up the right wing. He'll drop it back. And the puck continues up ice. Looking in front. And again, Montclair putting the pressure on. Tom Guidi was on the doorstep.
Kennard Rhodes had two options. He could have either passed back to the point, watch him as he picks up his head and looks back to the point, instead elects to go in front. Unfortunately, Guidi could not get the good shot off because he was tied up from behind.
Halfway through the first period, Montclair leading by 1. Montclair won a state championship back in 1981 when they defeated the Green Dragons of Brick. Montclair fans react as John Frank picks up the puck along the far board. Rhodes avoids a check. Puck comes back to the point for Doug Macon. Wrist shot taken by Guidi. Rhodes tried to backhand the pass in front. Again, it comes back to Macon. His shot hits off of Boyer's pads. Guidi tries to chase it down. And finally the puck is tried to clear, but Frank keeps it in for the Mounties. Montclair relentless in the early going. This is Rhodes. He'll go one-on-one, and Boyer has to come up with the save. And Pete, they are putting pressure on John Boyer.
They are putting a lot of pressure on Boyer. Not only the shooter, but there's a lot of commotion right in front. That time Tom Guidi was creating the havoc in front, tying up the defenseman. There we'll see the puck as it's dumped into the corner. There's the misplay, and it comes right to the Montclair player. Now watch as he's hooked a little bit from behind. The shot is taken right into the chest of Boyer, so the save is easy, but he has to concentrate all the time. He has to make sure he's prepared at all times for a shot to come from any direction.
McLean trying to find the puck behind the net. It comes back to the near point for Statlander. We'll have a penalty coming up against, no, I'm sorry. Statlander chases the puck down. Here come the Mounties, 4-on-3, but offsides as Dave McLean. And I believe that's what was the call might have been earlier that I saw.
Exactly, that was a delayed offsides. When the official raises his hand straight up, it's a delayed offsides. Here we take a look at the offsides right in front of us as Dave McLean, a stride ahead of the play, a little too anxious, and put himself offsides. Dave McLean, a junior forward for Montclair, with on the season 30 goals, 29 assists, and 59 points.
And of course, picking up his 31st goal just a moment ago. And now we'll have a penalty.
I believe Jim Flaherty's going to call a high sticking.
16 white, minor, high sticking, 16 white.
Statlander will go for the Mounties.
There we take a look at Marty Statlander. The gentleman standing next to Marty Statlander, that is the coach of Seton Hall Prep, John Warshall.
So Statlander will sit for high sticking at 5:43.
Now we get to take a look at the Delbarton power play. Look for Peter Laser and Pete Ramsey up front.
Lonergan and Davis are also on the play, and Maguire, who just shot high. Lonergan can't get control, and McLean will send it all the way up ice. McLean gains control, and it just goes across the front of the face of the goal.
McLean made a beautiful move. He had Boyer beat to the short side. He just skimmed it wide and missed the net.
Dumped in by the Green Wave, and again, a bit of a strange hop off the boards. Davis coming up with the puck, goes back to Lonergan. He wanted to send it back to Maguire at the point, and Maguire does come up with the puck. Derek Maguire right into Krupp. On the rebound, it's a goal. John Lonergan. Brian Lonergan, excuse me, for Brian Lonergan. The sophomore ties it at 1 apiece.
Oh, the play was made by Derek Maguire at the point.
6:15 and 2.
He stopped the puck from exiting the zone. He knocked it down. Here we'll see it. Watch the quick wrist shot right there. There's the save by Krupp. Now watch on the backhand. Brian Lonergan puts it home, and we're tied at 1.
Assists will be credited to Derek Maguire and also Ed Davis. Tied at 1 apiece here in the first period. The goal coming at 10:08. So we're tied at 1. And Pete, both our goals on the power play.
Well, we knew we had 2 explosive teams tonight, and we've seen it. As soon as they get a little bit of an edge, they're capitalizing.
Statlander sends his shot a bit wide. Good centering pass, and Guidi just missed on the shot. He had someone on his back. Delbarton starting to open it up a little bit. Rhodes coming up the far boards.
Paul, I was going to say, don't let anyone fool you. Just because Montclair has been ranked #1 just about all year and Delbarton somewhere around 3 to 4, they have an excellent chance tonight. In fact, some people you talk to put them as the favorite because of the emotional thing of this being Magadini's last game.
Well, Pete, about 2 months ago, we saw Montclair when they were again rated #1 in a game against Don Bosco Prep, in which John Kennedy and Tucker Oswald took over for Don Bosco and registered a big 3-0 win.
And then earlier this year, I refereed some of Delbarton's games, and they have not looked as sharp as they've looked the past 2 nights. They are peaking at the right time.
Puck cleared out of the offensive zone, and Delbarton will start once again from the red line. Statlander, he sees a lot of ice time.
He sure does.
Some good checking going on in the corners. And a little bit of a late skate in by Paul Wagenbach. Fortunately for him, he held up on his check.
It's tough to stop your momentum, but if you at least keep your hands down and turn your head away or shoulder away so it doesn't look so intentional, you'll get away with it.
Tied at 1. 2:44 left in the first period, and wholesale changes for the Green Wave of Delbarton. John Magadini coaching his last high school hockey game. Shot just wide off the back of the net.
You just saw some of the physical play of Delbarton. When they want to, they can take the body very well.
Macon for Montclair behind his own net. Sidesteps a checker. Across the blue line, then the red, and he'll send it in. And Pete, just as you described earlier, Montclair hoping their speed will get them to the puck first. Back to the point for Macon. And Boyer has to stick it away. Beyersdorfer fighting for it, almost came out in front, and Boyer just sticked it away from him. Here comes McLean, who tried to set up Phil Mandry.
And that was Derek Maguire that stopped that shot from reaching Boyer. Fine play right in front by Maguire.
Final minute of play in the first period. We are tied at 1. Macon brings it in for the Mounties. Looking to feed Mandry. Instead, it's back to Macon. His shot looking for the near side.
Fine save by Boyer. The first pass was blocked. It came right back to the Montclair shooter, to Mandry. He almost picked the near side. You're right, Paul. But Boyer came up big. Just squeezed the pad and the arm together right against that post and blocked the shot.
Up to Mandry with 30 seconds. Mandry skates in, centers it, and good defensive work because no one was there for Montclair. List gets it to Statlander. He'll fire it just wide. And we'll have a whistle. The net was moved. And that is why we have the stop and play.
But nobody noticed the net. Here we'll take a look at some action.
Watch Statlander crank this one up.
He has time, so he's able to wind up. Unfortunately, he missed the net. But when you give a defenseman that much time and that much room, as Marty Statlander just had, he's going to score.
He was looking low stick side. 14 seconds remain in the first period. Lonergan, who has the only goal for Delbarton. Krupp comes up big, and then the defense gets in the way. With 2 seconds to go, John Frank will send it up. And we are at the end of 15 minutes of play. An excellent first period of play in the 1987 state championship hockey game. We are tied. Delbarton 1 goal, Montclair 1 goal. Pete and I will be back in just a moment. Back at Mennen Arena in Morris Township, Paul Spahala and Pete Caggiano on the call. 1987 state championship hockey game in the first period. Delbarton's John Herkala picked up a penalty at 8:51, and then on the power play, Montclair scored to make it a 1-0 game. Dave McLean scoring his 31st goal of the season. Marty Statlander and Phil Mandry the assists, and the time of the goal 6:32. And Pete, this is what it looked like.
Montclair worked the puck very, very well, Paul. Here we'll see it as Statlander with a quick wrist shot. There's the save by Boyer. Now Maguire doesn't know where it is, and there's Dave McLean coming in, picking the rebound and putting it right underneath Boyer for the first goal for Montclair.
Boyer allowing the rebound on the play, and that led to the goal. Then a few moments later, Marty Statlander picked up a penalty, and Delbarton capitalized, making it a 1-1 game on also a power play. Their goal by Brian Lonergan. The assist went to Ed Davis and Derek Maguire. That goal came at 10:08, and Pete, once again, this is what we looked like.
Almost the same type play, Paul. The shot comes from the point. There's Maguire taking the first shot. Krupp with the save. Now watch right there. Even though there's somebody right on his back, Lonergan is able to tuck the backhand home just beyond the outstretched leg of Ed Krupp.
So a pair of power play goals accounting for our only scoring in the first period. Pete, is it possible that will make the teams a little more cautious about taking the penalty as this game moves along?
Well, I don't believe so, Paul, and the fact that the officials tonight are not going to call a lot of penalties. Unless this game gets really lopsided one way or the other, they're going to let all the little stuff go and only call things that are either going to prevent a goal or cause an injury.
Tied at 1 apiece. Delbarton gave it a good run in the final seconds, Pete, and they almost made it a 2-1 game going to the break. They put on a good rush in the final seconds.
This was an excellent save by Ed Krupp. Here as we watch on the right side, that's Ed Davis. Now he comes in quick backhand right there, and then the rebound is fanned on by Brian Lonergan. But notice how Krupp hugged the near post. He stayed his ground, took the backhand right in the chest, and was able to make the save.
So with the Zamboni out on the ice between the first and second periods, we're going to take another break right now. We'll be back in just a moment with second period play. Our state championship score, Delbarton 1, Montclair 1. Once again, we're back at Mennen Arena. Paul Spahala, Pete Caggiano on the call. And our thanks to the staff here at Mennen Arena, particularly Reynold Fossey and Bill Burns, for all their help with our coverage of both the semifinals and tonight's championship game here in the New Jersey State Hockey Tournament. Pete, earlier in the day we mentioned that we have the Mennen champion and the Gordon Cup champion. For those of our viewers who are not familiar, what are the two different tournaments?
Okay, the Mennen Cup is the championship of the Morristown, or should I say the Morris County Hockey League, in which is an offshoot of the North Jersey Hockey League. When this rink was built, I guess now it must be about 9 years ago, the teams that were originally from this area elected to start their own league up here. And the Gordon Cup, which is probably the oldest championship in ice hockey for the high school level in New Jersey, started back in 1961. That cup is given to the winner of the New Jersey Scholastic Hockey League, and this year's winner is Montclair, and Delbarton, the winner of the Mennen Cup. So we indeed do have the two top teams in the state this evening.
And in past years, there were some minor upsets along the way. This is pretty much, though, the matchup hockey fans had been hoping for, at least for the past several weeks.
Paul, when you have a state tournament like this, where it is a one-game tournament, in other words, one loss, you're out. You don't have time to regroup. You run into a hot goaltender or a big scorer in one game, your season's over. So tonight is a night where the better teams have prevailed, and we're seeing both of them tonight in action.
And there you see the two hot goalkeepers, Ed Krupp for Montclair, we see right now John Boyer in the nets for Delbarton. Tied at 1, and we're ready to start play here in the second period. Delbarton, although they're not considered the home team, would have to be just geographically, the game being played here in Morris County.
Not only geographically, Paul, but this is the rink they play all their games in. So besides the 20 to 25 regular season games, they must practice here another 40 times a year. So roughly 60 times they're on this ice. This might be Montclair's third or fourth time all year skating here. So the geographic edge has to go to Delbarton.
McLean centers it for Morris, and he was checked off the play. Slow backhander sent in, and Boyer makes the stop. Laser with the puck for Delbarton. Oh, centering pass. Bill Morris just couldn't get his stick down in time. And the puck will come back to the defensive end for Montclair. Teams naturally switching sides here for the second period. McLean rides the defender off the puck, tries to stuff it in the short side. Back for Statlander. His shot deflects off the leg of Von Zubin.
There you heard John Boyer shouting instructions to his defenseman. He was telling him to go, move the puck up, let's get rid of it.
Delbarton hoping for, and they do get, a face-off.
That's a look at Peter Laser, Sr. You see him there with the C on his shirt. That stands for captain.
And we should also point out that there are several players who you may see a different name on the back of their uniform. For instance, number 8 is Martin Schwartz, although it says Troutman on the back of his uniform. He was an addition late in the season, and he just has a last year's jersey. Trying to wrap it around the backside, and Boyer comes up with the puck in the glove. John Frank got off the initial shot, and I think Rhodes had the rebound.
7 wide, high stick.
And then after the save, we're going to get a penalty going against John Frank.
Okay. What happened, watch how quick the glove is of John Boyer. There the stuff around is tried. The puck comes back out. Boyer with a quick shot. Notice how quick John Boyer's glove is. Picks the puck right out of the air and then holds on.
High sticking against John Frank. And he will sit for 2.
Number 1. Number 7. 7 for a high stick, yeah.
And finally, that call just reconfirmed by Jim Flaherty.
I didn't see the penalty, Paul. It must have happened behind the play. Probably after he let the shot go, and maybe in frustration, he took a swipe at one of the Delbarton players.
Statlander sends in a shot, and it hits the back leg of Andy Craig, and then we have an offsides called as Tom Guidi was in on the play. And Andy Craig is going to feel that one for a while. It hit him right in the back of the knee.
Especially in the back of the leg, Paul. Most players wear pads in the front. Very few wear it in the back.
Guidi had a rebound off the boards that Boyer didn't control, and then he fanned on the rebound shot.
Exactly what we said earlier, Paul, about watch the puck coming off the far boards. They're very lively in this ring.
Ramsey sends it around behind the Montclair net. Krupp can't control it. Lonergan fighting for it, as is Ramsey. Ramsey for Delbarton. Still with control. Again, Delbarton is on the power play. Kicked off a skate on the shot, high off the glass, and the rebound goes out of play. And what a shot taken by Andy Craig.
Craig let a bullet go, but I'm not sure Ed Krupp even saw it. There was some jockeying for position right in front of the net. They were screening Ed Krupp. The shot went just over the net, hit right on the edge, and went out of play. There's the quick shot from the point. You see those two fellows right there in front? They're blocking the view of Ed Krupp. The shot went over the net, hit the glass, and then went out of play. And that is why the faceoff will come outside the zone, because it was not touched at all by a Montclair player.
1:04 left in the Montclair penalty. And the puck is cleared down end. .50 seconds left in the Frank penalty. Tied at 1 apiece, the New Jersey State Hockey Championship.
Watch Montclair open it up. They'll take their time and look for the open man.
McLean fanned on the shot. He might have been thinking about passing to Mandry, but Mandry was double teamed. McLean checked tightly, and Davis comes away with the loose puck. Davis for Delbarton tries to cross the blue line, a big collision, and the puck out of the offensive zone. 10 seconds left in the Montclair penalty. And the puck is out of play, and we'll have the face-off outside the blue zone with 5 seconds left in the penalty.
Montclair doing a fine job of holding the blue line. By that I mean not allowing the Delbarton players to gain the zone. Every time they come up to the line, either deflecting the puck back out or tying the man up so he cannot penetrate through.
.11:37 left in the second period. We'll have a false start on the faceoff.
Montclair was trying to make a change, and they're being allowed now to make that change as Statlander comes off. And Darren List replaces him.
Penalty about to expire for Montclair. And it has expired as John Frank is back on the ice and both teams are at full strength. McLean, his shot hits the defenseman and then it's cleared wide of the net. Macon will send it back in for Montclair. And we'll have a face-off. .11:11 left in the second period. There you get a good view of the Mennen Arena. End of our score, 1 apiece, Delbarton and Montclair.
Paul, seems like the action has slowed a little bit in this period. I'm not sure if the players are just being a little tentative or the intensity level could not be sustained after the first period, but they're not skating, they're not checking like they did in the beginning.
Both teams were flying in the first period at separate times. Puck all the way back to Ed Krupp. Initially, Montclair had the offensive advantage, and then Delbarton took it away. As a matter of fact, I wasn't watching Pete, but I saw Krupp hit the ice, and it is possible that Pete Laser ran into him.
It's not possible. It happened. Laser skated behind Krupp. Noticed that nobody was looking. A little tug of his skates pulled Ed Krupp down.
And there it is.
Oh, great camera work. You saw it right there, the top part of your screen, as Laser skated through, dragged his stick right under the skate of Krupp, just enough to knock him off balance.
Right back to Krupp, and again, Laser on the doorstep.
Peter Laser's a tough cookie. He's a big boy. He stands about 5'11", about 175. Likes to mix it up in the corners.
10:30 left in the second period. We're tied at 1 apiece, and for the first time this evening, a team was not hurt by a penalty. Tom Guidi skating off the ice for Montclair. Puck does clear the blue line. And then the Mounties will send it in deep. Davis tries to bring it back out. Drop pass for Lonergan. Krupp comes up with the save. Puck in front. Davis whips it around the boards.
Fine save by Ed Krupp. Again, he stood his ground. He's a stand-up type goaltender. The shot was taken right into the pads, and he was able to make the save.
John Morris sticks it ahead if he can regain his balance, and finally he's raced off the puck. Montclair will have to get back on side, and they can't. John Morris slams the puck into the boards. He's upset. If he could have just kept his footing, he might have had a one-on-one chance with the goalkeeper. Here you see number 15, John Morris, and he was hit, but he just can't get his edge in time. Paul Wagenbach gets back to make the defensive play.
Exactly so, Paul. Somebody took a little piece of his leg, just enough to knock him off balance. In hockey, people only think about the big booming checks, the ones that send players flying. All you have to do is stand in the way of the other player trying to proceed, and it's just as effective.
But I'm not even sure that one was intentional. I think somebody just caught an edge of his skate, or else John Morris would have been coming in one-on-one. Statlander up to McLean. McLean with Mandry circling in front of the net. Now Bill Morris. Back to McLean. Montclair, good passing in close quarters. But finally the puck. McLean decides to go to Mandry, but the puck comes back to the point for Statlander. He'll have to backhand it in. McLean will chase it down, and he is ridden off the puck. And we'll have a face-off.
Paul, you mentioned the passing of Montclair. They are known for their pinpoint passing, and also known to our TV3 viewers is that Montclair has their own rink right in town. And with all that ice time and the coaching of Bruce Parker, they've developed into one of the finest hockey teams in the state.
Montclair Arena, just down the street from the high school, the home of both the Montclair Mounties and the Cougars of MKA. 8:30 left in the second period. A scoreless second period to this point, and we'll have a face-off outside the blue line. Kennard Rhodes stuck up a glove to try and bring the puck down, but instead it popped off and over the glass. Davis streaking in for Delbarton. He's ridden off the puck, and Montclair will draw a penalty. Doug Macon will go.
White minor trip.
You're right, Paul. Doug Macon pulled down Ed Davis as Davis put on the speed, tried to get around Macon, had him beat, and then Macon diving to try to play the puck, missed the puck, took out the skates of Davis, and that's why there's the penalty right there. See him miss the puck, take his skates out from right underneath him. Gene Griffin standing right on the call, made the right call.
So senior co-captain Doug Macon will sit for 2 minutes for the tripping penalty.
Last time on the power play, Delbarton did not look so effective. Let's see what they do this time.
Delbarton 1 of 2 on the power play this evening. And quickly, Krupp decides to cover up on the puck. Ed Krupp, just a junior, his second year on the varsity. He had an outstanding game against Toms River East in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. This one he kicks away. And again, Krupp comes up big with Ramsey standing on the doorstep. And Eddie Krupp again with a super save.
2 great saves, Paul. The first one, he used his right pad to make the save. The second one, he anticipated. He saw the play happening before it developed, anticipated, and made the save. Now watch, here's the puck as it squeaks through. Notice he's down before the shot is even taken. Ramsey's shot was put right into the pad of Krupp because he had nowhere else to shoot.
1:35 left in the penalty, shot directed wide. Maguire sends the shot, and it's in. Right underneath the crossbar, Derek Maguire with the power play goal.
Ed Krupp did not play that one well. It was not a particularly hard shot.
6 and 15.
Unfortunately, Krupp did not come up high with his blocker pad. It floated right over his shoulder, right below the crossbar. And now we have 2-1, and Delbarton is 2 out of 3 on their power play. There's a shot from the point. It's a wrist shot, not particularly hard, but Krupp went down, and then he tried to bring his arms up, was not enough to get all of it, tucked it right underneath the crossbar.
And I believe, I might have seen on the replay, Pete, I believe that it actually hit Krupp and deflected into the upper part of the net. He came very close to hitting it, and he might have indeed even deflected it up.
Could have been, Paul, because Krupp made 2 mistakes. One, he went down on the shot, and second, did not have his blocker flush. Instead, he had it on an angle, so very easily could have deflected it.
Doesn't hit him.
Watch the left part of your screen. I think you're right, Paul. I think you're right. You notice the angle of Krupp's pad. It is not flat perpendicular to the puck. but rather on an angle, allowing the puck to skim off and tuck in right underneath the crossbar.
The goal coming at 7:19, and it is Delbarton 2, Montclair 1.
And Paul, who was our goal scorer? But Derek Maguire.
And the assist went to Lonergan and Davis. So the second time those three have accounted for a goal.
That's right, and there's that freshman defenseman again.
On the previous Delbarton goal, it was Lonergan from Davis and Maguire. This time, Maguire from Lonergan and Davis. .7:14 left in the second period.
Fans seem to be getting into the game right now, Paul. As a little jockeying for vocal rights are going on.
Puck outside the blue line. Statlander chases it down. And he'll bring it up, and he sends a high shot that Boyer did not see the rebound. Back to the point, Macon with good hustle kept the puck in. And Bill Morris fighting for it. But Delbarton is able to withstand the pressure, but again, an excellent play by Doug Macon. Low shot just wide of the net.
Hand pass called on Montclair. That was Dave McLean behind the net. He was in trouble. Took the easy way out by shoveling the puck ahead with his hand to a teammate and caused a whistle.
(2-1), Delbarton leading. And then almost 3-1, except for Ed Krupp getting the leg in front of that shot. John Frank clears the red line. It's 2-on-3, but Frank will go in, get an advantage on the defenseman. Boyer again had a glove on it. The puck popped loose, and he lost it for just a moment.
He didn't catch it cleanly, but he was there enough to stop it from proceeding forward, because if he did not get a glove on it, that would have found its side on the far end.
Macon will let a low shot go, tipped just wide. Guidi fighting for it, along with Frank from Montclair. Frank comes up with it. Finally slapped away, and Delbarton now on the move. Here they come 3-on-2. Davis on the right wing. And then he is offsides, and maybe Davis should have brought it in himself.
Davis made the cardinal sin. You do not want to make a pass right at the blue line. You either want to gain the zone first or make it far before. Now watch the top of the screen. Right there, the man precedes the puck over the zone. He actually put himself offsides by throwing a drop pass behind him.
And Davis comes to the bench for a breather on the line change. 5:18 remaining in the second period. I think Boyer wanted an icing on the play. Statlander can't keep it in. The puck jumps over his stick. List sends it up ahead. John Morris on the right wing, pulled down from the puck. Weak shot, but it's in. Boyer maybe misplayed the shot from Eric Beyersdorfer. And Beyersdorfer ties it at 2 apiece.
Not a particularly hard shot. It was stopped at the point. Beyersdorfer picked up the loose puck.
12 from 16.
Statlander again making the play at the point. Beyersdorfer just taking a weak wrist shot that somehow found its way between the legs of John Boyer. And just like that, we're tied at 2.
Watch it here, Pete. It actually hits Boyer, in my opinion, on the side of his skate and then trickles in.
Here as he goes around Maguire, there's a shot. Yes, it hit his left skate and went in. Boyer put that in himself. That should have been an easy save.
For Beyersdorfer, his 12th goal of the season, and we're tied at 2 apiece. The goal coming at 10:24. And as Pete mentioned, the only assist on the goal goes to Marty Statlander. For Statlander, his 2nd assist of the evening, his 28th on the season. Eric Beyersdorfer. And he has 2 more years left on the varsity.
He is just a sophomore.
Again, this is a junior-dominated Montclair team, but there are several sophomores playing. Beyersdorfer is one of them. Almost a goal that hit the post.
What a break right there. John Boyer did not know where that puck was. It skipped behind him, hit the far post, came right out in front, and then he almost pounced on the rebound, but the official, Jim Flaherty, did not see it, so he had to blow the whistle. Right there, we take a look at McLean. Hits Boyer's stick, hits the post. It's sitting right there. And now he puts his glove on top for the whistle. It
first hit off a defenseman, Herkula. It trickled to Boyer, who also missed it, and then it hit the post. So a 3-cushion shot that did not score for Montclair. The Mounties trying to take advantage of the goal by Beyersdorfer. List back to Statlander. Hand pass.
Statlander picking up the puck after Phil Mandry dropped it to the ice. If Mandry plays it himself, play continues. If an opponent plays the puck, play continues. But if another teammate, such as Marty Statlander, plays the puck, we get an immediate whistle.
Phil Mandry talking with one of the assistant coaches. Puck almost stripped away by Brian Lonergan. List still with control for the Mounties. And finally, the puck clears the blue line. I don't believe Darren List saw Brian Lonergan coming in.
Bodies are starting to fly all over now, Paul.
Now the pace has picked up. We noted that in the earlier part of this period, it was a very slow pace. John Frank brings it in, left wing. Phil Mandry chases the puck. He'll keep it in. In front, Mandry again will get control of it. Comes back to the point for Macon. Macon plays the carom. Wrestled by Davis, and finally Delbarton will control.
Paul, some people might have thought that Montclair was trying to lull Delbarton to sleep for a while and then just turn it on in the 3rd period, as they have been known to do in the past. Montclair is a definite 3rd period team.
Kept in by Davis. His shot sticked away by Guidi. Maguire with a good check after sending the puck in.
Don't hit him when he's down.
Just over 2 minutes ago, and you're right, the intensity level has picked up over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Right after the goal, everybody seemed to wake up and say, hey, fellas, this is a game. We have to win it.
Beyersdorfer's goal, not an extremely pretty goal, but it did the job, bouncing off of Boyer's skate and going in, and it tied it at 2 apiece.
In the box score, it looks like a booming slap shot from 50 feet out.
And if the trophy goes home on the bus with you tonight, you don't care what the goal looked like. That's basically what they're fighting for this evening. Chance to go home as the state champion. And whichever team wins, it will be their 22nd win of the season. John Magadini would like to have that one last win be a state championship win. Bruce Parker, on the other hand, well, he knows he's coming back with a talented young team next year. But next year is 12 months away. He wants to win it tonight. Matter of fact, we even talked with Bruce before the game, and we mentioned, was there any talk about, hey, if we win tonight, we're on a roll for next year? And he said, I certainly hope no one's talking about next year yet. Out in front, loose shot. John Morris was able to come up with it. He'll race it up for the Mounties. Good skating by Craig. From the point, hit someone's stick. Craig was able to get the rebound, and his second shot also hit a defenseman.
Play has opened up a little bit also, Paul.
1:14 left in the period. Soft shot, and again, Boyer having a little bit of trouble with those low shots.
He did have trouble with that one. I can't see his concentration waning at this point, but for some reason, he's just not making the smart play.
And we have an offside. Paul Snisky was hustling to get back onside, but the puck beat him in. John Boyer just seemed to have a little trouble with the last few low shots. Delbarton fans, well, they're not waving to our cameras, they're waving to their Montclair opponents across the way.
Some of those Montclair fans have their faces painted blue and white.
Under a minute to play, tied at 2. Phil Mandry plays the carry. Mandry with McLean on his left, and the pass is broken up by Derek Maguire. What a super play by the freshman.
There was a perfect case, Paul. Well, maybe he should have taken the shot. He was only 15 to 20 feet out. If he takes the shot and the save is made, the other two players are there for the rebound.
Icing called against Delbarton. Here is the replay. This is Mandry. McLean at the top of your screen.
Mandry makes a fine move right at the blue line to get free. Now right there, he can't be more than 15 or 18 feet out. He should have taken the shot. He elected to pass. Again, Derek Maguire, playing a tremendous game on defense for Delbarton, was able to block the pass for us.
And it also appeared on that replay that Boyer was anticipating the pass because he was starting to slide to his right.
Goaltender has to do that, Paul. They have to guess almost what's going to happen before it happens, because if you wait for the play to develop, there's no way you can do it.
Offside. 17 seconds remain. Statlander trying to race it up the near boards, but he beat McLean, who was trying to get out. 2-2 our score, just as we had in the first period, 1 goal for each team.
This game has given us everything we have expected.
And we have at least 15 minutes left once we head to the break. 7 seconds remaining. 2 seconds to go, and the period expires. So a pair of goals in the second period, 1 for each team, and that's an instant replay, as it were, of our first period of play. We'll take our second break with the score now, Delbarton 2, Montclair 2, as the teams fight it out for the 1987 New Jersey State Hockey Championship. Delbarton fans trying to cheer their team to victory, and they had a lot to cheer about in the early stages of the second period of play. Second penalty of the period against Montclair went to Doug Macon for a trip, and on that power play, Delbarton took a 2-1 lead in the game. The Delbarton goal coming at 7:19. It was scored by Derek Maguire, and the assist went to Brian Lonergan and Ed Davis. Again, the time 7:19. It was just a high, hard shot, Pete, by Derek Maguire.
And it's the same three fellows that combined for the goal in the first period. There we see nice wrist shot from Maguire. We still can't tell whether Krupp got a piece of that or whether it beat him cleanly over the shoulder. But either way, it entered the net just under the crossbar, and that gave Delbarton the 2-1 lead.
But just about 3 minutes later, Montclair tied the game up. The goal for Montclair belonging to Eric Beyersdorfer. Marty Statlander got an assist on the equalizer. The time 10:24. But Pete, it was maybe more a part of the fact that John Boyer just had trouble with the puck on the shot by Beyersdorfer. We'll see it on the replay. Watch for Boyer's left leg.
First, you're going to see the puck kept in the zone by Marty Statlander right there off his skate. And that's where you see Beyersdorfer just take an easy shot, nothing hard, but Boyer with his left leg, he should have just let it go through the crease. It probably would have went wide. Instead, with his left skate, he deflected it right into the net, and that's why we're tied at 2. Also, that's the first goal this evening that has not been scored on a power play. That's an even strength goal, our first one tonight.
Our first even strength goal. Delbarton has 2 on the power play, and the first goal of the evening was on a Montclair power play. So we are tied at 2 apiece. In just a moment, we'll start what will be our final 15 minutes of regulation, because right now we are tied Delbarton 2, Montclair 2 for the New Jersey State Hockey Championship. We'll be right back. Some of the fans from Montclair who made the trek up to Morris County for tonight's state championship game. And you've heard them throughout the evening vocalizing their support for the Mounties. Good support from Montclair's Mountie fans. Delbarton fans are calm right now. And there are some more Montclair fans wearing the blue and white face paint. Very good sized crowd here at the Mennen Arena. Tied at 2 apiece. Almost ready to start the final 15 minutes of play. John Boyer clearing off the water in front of his net. You can see, look at this, Pete, look at the water that is still there.
Oh, that's a problem with this rink. It happens just about every time when the ice is resurfaced, especially down that one end. For some reason, there's a lot of water. That's why the players did not come out immediately. They were hoping for that water to freeze before the start of the play. In fact, they may wait another minute or 2 before they start the third period, because that water must be removed from where it is. That can create a lot of problems for the goaltender, John Boyer. It's right in front of his crease. There you see some of his teammates helping him sweep it away.
And at the other end, Montclair players doing the same thing, but it does not appear to be nearly as bad at the end that Montclair is defending. Whereas back at the end where Delbarton will be trying to stop Montclair from scoring, there's still quite a bit of water accumulated on the ice. Every week, join Steve Mayer for Suburban High School Sports Report. Fridays at 8:30, Saturdays at 5:30. And this week he'll be detailing all the state championships played throughout New Jersey this past week. This has been state championship week here on TV3. Last Saturday, Matt Lachlan was on the call for the state wrestling championships at Princeton. On Sunday, Steve Mayer and myself were at Brookdale Community College for parochial A basketball championships. And tonight, Pete, you and I are enjoying what is right now a 2-2 state championship hockey game. Each team scoring 1 goal in each of our first 2 periods. And again, both Delbarton goals were power play goals.
Paul, you said the right word, enjoying ourselves. This is a fine game tonight.
John Magadini, I'm sure, enjoying it also. This is his final game as coach of Delbarton after 5 seasons. Mandry on the right wing. His shot might have hit post on the rebound. Dave McLean from Mandry, and Mandry was on his stomach when he made the pass to Dave McLean.
Just to show the tenacity of Phil Mandry, he walked around the outside, let the first shot go, and hit the side of the net, came
14,
right back to
13,
him.
and 8.
Then he made the centering pass to Dave McLean, and we have a 3-2 game just 8 seconds into the third period. Now watch here, beautiful move. There's the first shot, hits the side of the net, the centering pass to Dave McLean. He makes no mistake about it, beats John Boyer cleanly, and Montclair jumping off to a quick 1-goal lead just 8 seconds into the third period.
John Boyer, who we had mentioned had been having trouble, particularly with low shots towards the close of the second period, beaten that time on just a great pass from Phil Mandry to Dave McLean.
That one you cannot blame on John Boyer. That was a bing bang play, perfect centering pass. Nobody checked Dave McLean right in the slot. If he's allowed to stand out there, he'll put him home every time.
Officially the goal at 8 seconds. McLean from Mandry, and Darren List also given credit for an assist. So Montclair quickly out in front here in the third period. Dave McLean with his 32nd goal of the season. And as a reminder, Pete, he had 3 goals in the semifinal win.
Just about to mention that. We saw it tonight, we saw it the other night in the semifinals, and you saw it all year. Phil Mandry and Dave McLean combining for Montclair's goals. And here's the biggest shocker. As you mentioned earlier, they're both juniors. They'll be back again.
List picks up the puck. As a matter of fact, the player who also got an assist on that goal, Darren List, is a junior. Very young team for Montclair. Craig brings it up the near boards for Delbarton, then he crosses to the far side of the rink. And he's ridden off the play hard by Doug Macon.
Montclair playing the body here in the beginning of the third period as they're riding the Delbarton players right off the puck.
This in contrast to our second period, which started out like they were skating in sand.
Very good analogy, Paul. The second period was very slow in the beginning. By the end of the second period, the intensity had picked up, and it has continued right now in the third period. Just 2.5 minutes into the third period, there was like no break at all. They flew right in from the second period to the third period.
Montclair using the one advantage that we thought they would have, more speed in skating. And they used it on that very first play of this period, Mandry taking it in deep.
Now we'll see, Paul, if they use their second asset, which is their team strength and their team depth. They have a hell of a lot more players that can play at this level than Delbarton does.
Statlander picking up the puck. Sends it up. John Morris will tee it up and send it wide. Puck directed towards the Delbarton net and slapped away.
Morris had a very good opportunity there. He shanked his shot, just like a golfer sometimes when you pick your head up and miss the ball off the tee. He just missed the shot. It hit the heel of his stick and was nowhere near going on goal.
You've seen me play golf. Here come the Mounties up ice.
I've heard, Paul. There's been stories floating around TV3 for a long time about your golf game.
Macon shot just wide. 3-2, Montclair in front.
But everybody at TV3 knows your expertise lie at shortstop for the TV3 softball All-Stars.
Montclair leading 3-2. Darren List behind the net, and he'll send it up. Montclair, after trailing 2-1, has scored 2 in a row. And although not as big a deficit as the game against Bergen Catholic when they were down 3-1 and 4-3, you would have to consider this, if it holds, a come from behind win.
This is a position that Delbarton was in the other night, trailing in the third period when they came back. Let's see how this third period develops.
If you just went on the basis of the Monday semifinals, neither team would want to be leading going into the last 5 minutes. That would be a strange situation. Craig skates it up ice. He crosses the blue line. Statlander takes him off the puck. Marty Statlander, a choice of several fine hockey schools to play at next season. Hobart, Northeastern, Ithaca, and St. Lawrence among the schools that are interested in having him play for them next season. Hard check in the corner. List will let it go. In front, it hits Kennard Rhodes. And here comes Lonergan the other way for Delbarton. Davis behind the net for Lonergan. Finally, Maguire will send a shot on goal. And Macon will come up with the puck.
Notice the discipline of Montclair. Instead of just dumping the puck out of the zone, notice how he stopped, cut back, looked for an open man. The physical part of the game is picking up as another big check is thrown.
Hard check thrown by Tom Guidi. And then Rhodes throws a check. Montclair using the body here in the early part of the third period. Trying to possibly take the fight out of Delbarton. They know they've got him down a bit by not only a goal, but a very quick goal, and maybe now trying to physically take them out of the ball game.
We have a delayed penalty coming up. Jimmy Flaherty's going to make the call.
2 green, minor elbow. 2 green.
And that certainly cannot help Delbarton that Derek Maguire will sit for 2 minutes.
You're right, Paul. That's a double whammy. Not only is Delbarton going to be down a man for 2 minutes, the man they will be down is Derek Maguire, their freshman, their defenseman, their leader. This will be a real test for Delbarton.
Maguire for 2. Very big 2 minutes coming up for Montclair. Montclair this evening 1 for 1 on the power play. And that was the first goal of the evening by McLean.
Paul, let's see if Montclair sets it up using the point like they always do.
Very quickly though, McLean with the wraparound, and Boyer just got it on the pads.
Paul, that is something that they did Monday night. They tried that wraparound quite a few times. What happens, the player, many times, especially when you're at a man advantage, is not going to be checked closely when he's behind the net. He can't score from there. But when he comes out in front, if nobody picks him up, he has a clear opportunity. That time he let a quick wrist shot go, but Boyer made the save. There's Dave McLean with 61 points this year, 32 goals, 29 assists.
And from that replay, you saw Phil Mandry waiting on the doorstep, although he was heavily guarded. John Frank dumps it in the corner, and the puck does clear the blue line, and Montclair will have to regroup.
Montclair likes to use their points, likes to use the defensemen as shooters to set up the power play. A few of their goals tonight were scored on rebounds from the shot taken at the point.
Under a minute and a half left in the Maguire penalty for Delbarton. Back to John Frank, and he can't keep it in. Up ahead to McLean. He may skate it in by himself. Maybe here comes the wraparound.
Watch for the same thing, possibly.
And I think he would have, except Craig poked the puck away from him.
Well, that's the kind of play. If they give you the room, you can do it. If not, you take the puck in the corner and pass to the point.
McLean gets it behind the net, looking for Mandry. Backhand, couldn't get it away. He was covered. Statlander back to Mandry. Backhander by Morris just hits the pads of Boyer. And finally the clear by Delbarton. 25 seconds left in the penalty. Mandry will chase it in for Montclair. Tried to wrap it around the other direction. And again, Delbarton will clear the puck. 4 seconds to go. Delbarton will survive their second penalty of the evening as Maguire is back on the ice.
He tried the wraparound because there was no help on that play. He was all alone inside the zone. What happens, a right-handed shot, just an offsides call. A right-handed shot when he's going around the one way will try a wraparound. The left-hander the other way. You have to shoot the puck on your forehand for the wraparound. It is extremely difficult to do it with the backhand.
Montclair fans complaining about this. The whistle blows now. So what happens is that hip check you saw, which was a very good check, Montclair fans might have wanted a trip called, but regardless, it was after the initial whistle for the offsides.
If the puck was in play during that, you probably would have seen a trip. That was a clear example of a leg trip where the defenseman for Delbarton stuck out his leg and took the skates out of the Montclair player. Due to the fact it happened after the whistle, you have no call.
.644 remaining, a very quick third period.
That's because they're saving time for the overtime.
Puck just clears the blue line, so Statlander will have to skate around. A long season for both teams. For one of them, a 22nd victory and the state championship. I believe we had an offside. Statlander thought he had kept the puck in, but the call goes the other way.
About the past 4 or 5 minutes, the play has been controlled by Montclair. And here we'll see the play at the blue line. Watch the puck just escape over the line. It's almost held in, not quite. Again, here with a rink where the ice surface is down all the time, the lines are not very sharp, not very clear, and by the end of the season, they're pretty tough to see. But our officials have done a good job tonight making the right call on the offsides.
Here comes Craig. Right wing, Laser. Pulled out of the corner by Montclair, and they forced Delbarton to regroup. 5:42 left in the third period. A couple of sticks being exchanged.
Marty Statlander first grabbing the stick away and holding it, but then realizing the gentleman's thing to do would be hand it back to him. And I think that surprised the Delbarton player. He didn't expect it. Right there,
he's just saying, wait a second, I want to see what kind of stick you're using here.
And then he gives Laser back his stick.
And
Probably one of the aluminum sticks, a good stick. He may want to have kept it for himself.
Just kicked away by Ed Krupp. That one came low and pretty much unseen, and then Ed Krupp kicked it away.
Paul, those are the tough saves. Notice the shot is taken from the near side, but it's at the far side. Again, low stick, the toughest area for a defenseman, for a goaltender to save. And that time Maguire let the shot go, as he's done all night, but Ed Krupp came up big and deflected the puck out of the rink for a faceoff.
And for a moment, you could have sworn you were in Madison Square Garden instead of Mennen Arena as the Montclair fans started shouting out, Eddie, Eddie.
You're dating yourself, Paul. Last time you did that, chanted Eddie anyway, was about 10 years ago when Ed Giacomin was playing for them.
5:18 left in the third period. Or just a few years back when Eddie Mio was playing. See, you remember Jockman. Who's Ed Jockman? You'll have to tell me about him in our next history class.
That's right, I am older than you, Paul.
5:18 to go, 3-2 lead for Montclair. Line change for the Mounties. And Dave McLean was in early.
What the official tries to do, you're not going to keep everyone on side. So what you try to do is get them cheating evenly so no one particular team has the advantage, and then you drop it. What you don't want is one team far ahead of the other team, giving them wow, that's
rolling
a sloppy
puck
play.
That Boyer misplayed, and Phil Mandry almost made him pay for it. That seemed like such an innocent little play.
Caught me by surprise. I was beginning to say how you don't want one team cheating and the other team lining up exactly where they're supposed to be, giving one side an advantage. That's when they blow the whistle for a false drop or possibly a second drop.
McLean camped out in front of the net, waiting for the puck to be cleared, and finally the Green Wave does get it out of the Montclair attacking zone. Davis is onside on the right wing.
That pass just missed.
Here comes McLean. He's got Mandry behind him. He has the drop pass. And Davis rides Mandry into the glass. Davis will wind up and gloved by Ed Krupp.
The save was easy. It was the little stuff after the save that has got the fans riled. Davis, after letting the shot go, continued on his pace right at a Krupp, and as they passed each other, they both gave each other a little shove just to let each player know that we're here, we're ready to play, and next time stay away.
A little skate by. 4:07 remaining. Montclair by 1. That goal came very early in this third period. Dave McLean from Phil Mandry and Darren List. Frank almost picked up the rebound. Weedy sends in a low shot. Under 4 minutes now. Back to Statlander. He'll set up a shot. Knocked down in front, puck is still loose. And it will come back to Statlander, who will dump it in. And finally, the commotion in front knocks the goal and the goalkeeper away.
Listen to our officials talking, telling the players, ease back, keep your sticks down. Still trying to get them untangled as nobody wants to let go. Watch what happens here. The puck is right at his skates. A second shot right there. Now he goes right into John Boyer. Tom Guidi, with his aggressive style, went right into Boyer, and that's when all the defensemen for Delbarton pounced upon Guidi, and everyone else joined the party.
And then when they were trying to separate everyone, there were so many sticks in there that it caused some people to trip on the way out. Regardless, 3:15 remain in the state final. 3-2 Montclair. Teams are at full strength. Boyer pulls it out of the air.
We've had an aggressive game, we've had a hard checking game, but we have seen a very clean game. I tip my hat to both teams for playing a very clean game tonight.
Shot deflected wide by Snisky. Beyersdorfer, his shot just wide. He was looking for his second goal of the evening. .230, and the clock is still on the move. Trouble clearing the puck, and finally Statlander will send it up ice. And icing is called.
This is what Montclair will have to avoid. Face-offs deep in their zone. It only takes one shot for Delbarton to tie this game. They only need one goal.
2 minutes, 13 seconds remain. Montclair leading 3-2. Paul Spahala, Pete Caggiano here on the call. Bruce Parker watching from the Montclair bench.
Just quick mention of our minor officials, our goal judges tonight, Bob Vitor and John DiCarlo, and our public address announcer, Paul Pearson.
Since Pete mentioned softball, I will mention that Pete Caggiano, our third baseman, the man who does not know where first base is, only because, I say this in a positive manner, he led our team with 6 doubles last year. Pete never bothered to visit the first base coach. He always made the half trip around the diamond. If you are interested in playing
Well,
the
explain
TV3
that.
All-Stars,
That's only because I don't have enough power to hit the home run. I can only get halfway there.
if you would like to see the truth that Pete does not have any power and join us for a softball game, you can contact myself at 750-0950 extension 243. If you've got a field and an umpire, we'll be glad to take you on, but I will point out the TV3 All-Stars were 11-2 last season, and Pete Caggiano was our leader in doubles with 6. Back to hockey. Here's the goal that won it very early, and that leads it, I'm sorry, very early in the third period.
Could be a Freudian slip. Here we see on the outside, that's Phil Mandry. Watch the beautiful move right there. The first shot hits the side of the net. Mandry from on his stomach makes the pass out to Dave McLean. The 2 defensemen are beat. That was Paul Wagenbach, did not get a hold of Mandry, excuse me, of McLean, and Dave McLean was able to tuck the puck past John Boyer. That gives us the 3-2 lead with just a hair over 2 minutes to go.
And now we will start to keep an eye on John Boyer when and if he decides that he's going to be pulled from the nets by John Magadini. Here comes Mandry. Von Zubin skates it up. Dumps it in and then tries to chase it behind the net. 1:45 to go. Delbarton trying for a face-off.
Montclair playing it very smart, not putting any pressure on the Delbarton player, forcing him just to waste time.
And it actually ran off about 7 seconds.
Absolutely.
John Magadini, the decision that he has to make now when to pull John Boyer.
Paul, I would guess probably somewhere with around 50 seconds to go is when he will do it.
Well, right now there is 1:32 remaining. Substitution for Delbarton. Olsen is in, and Joe Grather is out. Bill Morris skates it up. Right wing, Mandry. Mandry still skating in, and that may be the gamer. Bill Mandry from Bill Morris.
Bill Mandry picked that upper corner so well, you will never see a more beautiful goal.
By number 13 from 11. 13-11.
Bill Morris made the nice pass, sliding the puck across to Phil Mandry. Mandry, using his speed, flew around the defenseman, did not have more than 6 inches to shoot for on the short side. He picked it perfectly, And now 4-2, a minute 19. This looks good for Montclair.
Here's Bill Morris, and then the pass to Mandry.
Quick wrist shot. Notice right there, Boyer tries to bring up the left glove. Not soon enough. There's a happy bunch of Montclair players.
And he beat him to the near side, right between him and the post. Not much area to shoot at.
I don't think he had more than 6 inches. And as I mentioned earlier, Paul, cardinal sin for the goaltender to leave the near post. You give the man the far post, you do not leave the near post. And what happened on that play, Boyer came off the near post, gave Mandry maybe about 6, could have been less, 4 inches, but Phil Mandry hit it right on the button.
Here's another look at it. And as we see it, you will note that Mandry does not have much room to shoot at all.
Okay, this is Morris. Now watch how he slides the puck, very nice. Mandry gets around his defenseman. Perfect. Already Boyer was on a knee though. That restricts his mobility and could not get his left arm up quick enough, and that made it easier for Phil Mandry to beat him. But let's give full credit to Mandry. He did it all on that play.
79 seconds remaining, and Montclair virtually has captured the state championship. But Delbarton might, no, I'm sorry, Boyer is out. I thought Delbarton might have started with 6 attackers. Boyer in the nets for Delbarton. He is a senior. For the most part, this is his first season of varsity action.
I think the reason why they put him in, Paul, he'll only be in for about 15 seconds, and they're going to pull him out as soon as the puck goes into the Montclair end. As a senior, they wanted to get him some ice time in the game.
Statlander sends it up. Mandry trying to skate it down. Boyer tries to stick it away. 1 minute exactly. Brian Lonergan tries to bring the puck in, but Darren List fights him off.
Get up! Get up! Get up!
You hear our referee, Gene Griffin, shouting to the players to get up.
And we'll have a penalty against Montclair as Boyer was hit. Shot goes wide. As soon as Montclair gains possession, 30 seconds remaining, and finally, Montclair will be a man down for the final 28 seconds.
14 white, interference.
Dave McLean skating by John Boyer, took his skates from him.
That's exactly what he did. And a penalty with 28 seconds to go. The face-off deep into the Montclair zone. Delbarton will skate with 6 forwards. Montclair will have 4.
6 skaters on 4 for at least the next 28 seconds. Of course, a goal would get Montclair 1 skater back. In front.
They can't wait, Paul. They have to pop one home right away.
Craig trying to set it up. 12 seconds remaining. And a little mixing it up with the sticks. And I believe Statlander will go and Pete Ramsey will go.
Number 12 green and number 16 white both have 2 for slashing.
And that's the call. Statlander and Ramsey will sit out the final 8 seconds of the state championship.
I think it's academic, Paul. Impossible to score 2 goals in 8 seconds.
Montclair will win their 22nd of the season and finish 22-4-2. And they will have won the last 4 games in a row, and I'm sorry, 5 games in a row, and no bigger 5 games, 2 in the Gordon Cup and 3 in the state tournament.
They are just 8 seconds away. Watch that team erupt in just 8 seconds.
Maguire's shot is wide with 2 seconds remaining. And Montclair has captured the state championship.
Paul, take a look at Bruce Parker. I want to see if he finally smiles.
Bruce Parker cautiously making his way out to join his team. Delbarton with congratulations for a fine season. They will finish 21-7-3. But Bruce Parker with a final congratulation for Ed Krupp, and he hands Krupp the game puck. Our final score this evening, Montclair 4, Delbarton 2 for John Magadini. His final game is not a victory. We'll be back in a moment to speak with Bruce Parker and several of the Mounties after this. The Montclair Mounties, the 1987 New Jersey State Hockey Champions. We have with us the senior tri-captains from the team. Doug Macon, first of all, congratulations. A long season, 22 wins in the season, but obviously a happy ending.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Doug, a lot of hard work obviously went into this season. At the beginning of the year, did Montclair think they had a chance to win this thing?
Definitely. That was the attitude that we had kept all season long, and that's what got us here today.
Even though it was such a young team.
Oh, yeah, but we did have a lot of talent, and we did have a lot of returning players that had some varsity experience last year. So everybody, we just had a positive attitude all year, and things just worked out great for us this year.
Doug, thank you very much for coming by. Congratulations on the victory. Bill Morris, why don't you step on in here? Now, Bill, you got a start this evening on the center line for McLean and Mandry. Was that a bit of a surprise for you this evening?
No, I usually start for the first line, except for the last end of the season. I had my brother been going out. Tonight, I guess I started the last game of my career, you know. But yeah, I usually play after the first few shifts. I usually get in with Dave and Phil. We practice that way in practice. It's normal routine, so it wasn't a surprise at all.
3-2 score late in the game. They're starting to put the pressure on, and it's obvious they're going to pull the goalie, and then you get the assist, which ices the game for the most part on the goal by Mandry. What sort of play happened? It was just a good pass and a good shot by Phil.
Yeah, well, I got lucky there on a bounce off the boards there, and we just had the break, went with it, and Phil had a nice shot. I don't know. I'm just really happy that we won it all this year. It's been a great season.
But, Bill, things didn't look all that good at the beginning. They had the 2-1 lead, and obviously they were putting a little pressure on you. What were they doing early that gave them the 2-1 advantage?
Well, at the beginning of the game, they just outplayed us. They worked us harder. They seemed like they wanted the game more. We just didn't have the intensity, and we knew we had to, coming out of the second period, we had to pick something up, and we just got it going, scored a couple off the bat, and worked out all right for us.
Well, Bill, congratulations. Thanks very much for coming by. Marty Statlander now coming over. Marty had 2 assists on the evening. Marty, once again, a super effort for the entire team. Let's talk a little bit about defense, though. A very strong defensive performance, particularly after their second goal. The Montclair defense just tightened up and never really allowed them to get going. And again, their only goals were power play goals.
Well, I don't know. We only had 3 defensemen, so you're constantly in the game. You come off, you get a rest for 10, 15 seconds, you go right back out, and you can't really get your mind off the game. You got to keep playing it.
Ed Krupp came up very big.
Yeah, certainly did. He's been at the tail end of the season. He's been playing fantastic.
And that is one thing that Montclair has had to do this season. You've played very well the last few games, and of course they were the big games, the Gordon Cup and the state tournament, and that's when the right time of the year to peak.
Yep, we put it on when we had to. And we had a good season all year, and we turned it on at the end when we had to put it on. We did it. Couldn't ask for a better season.
And Marty, although you're a senior, I'm going to ask you to speak a little bit for the juniors. Obviously, the pressure is now on them to repeat this, and this is a lot of juniors on this team.
Yeah, well, there's only 5 of us leaving, and they're all juniors, and they're all fantastic players, and they're all the top scorers of the team. So I imagine they'll do just as good next year.
All right, Marty, but they definitely will miss you on defense. Thank you very much for coming by. Bruce Parker, the head coach of the Montclair Mounties, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much.
Bruce, it's been a long time coming. Past several seasons, Montclair has been very strong, but for one reason or another, you've always run into a good team in the States. This year, you were the good team that everybody else ran into.
Finally. Finally. No, we've had a great season, In past seasons, we've come up a little bit short. We've been working on gaining experience and providing some depth for our hockey team. I think we have depth now. We have 4 lines. We're not afraid to use anybody. We have 5 defensemen. We went to 3 at the tail end of the season, but those other 2 that didn't play much tonight have had an awful lot of experience during the season, and they're going to play very well on defense for us next year. Our goaltender is only a junior. Our backup's only a sophomore. We're a very young hockey team, and we're going to savor this moment right now, but come a couple of days from now, we're going to start thinking about coming back again next year, hoping to play in the same game.
Do you think the depth factor was maybe the one of the major turning points in this game tonight, that you could use 4 lines where it appeared they were only going with basically 2 lines?
I think there's no doubt about that. I think we wore them down a little bit. It's tough to play on Monday and come back on Wednesday. They had that come from behind effort, that great 3 goals in a minute and 14-second effort to win coming from behind. And although that gives you an emotional lift, there's also an awful lot of labor that has to go into those minute and 14 seconds and all that preceded it. I think they were a little bit tired. We used our depth. We weren't afraid to use everybody on the bench tonight. Everybody got a chance to play, and most everybody did anyway, and I think it helped. I think it worked.
During your timeout late in the game, did you mention something about their 3 goals in the minute whatever seconds it was?
That was precisely the reason for that timeout. I brought the fellas over to the bench and I said, look, think about 2 nights ago. This club scored 3 goals in a minute and 14 seconds to come from 2 behind to beat a very good St. Joe's club. Said, this game is not over, and don't you dare let it slip away. And they didn't. They played tough.
Obviously, you're going to savor this one for a while, but as I just mentioned with Marty, obviously a lot of people will be thinking of you as the team to look for next season with all the juniors coming back, and that's something, I guess, it's positive. You always want to be the team everyone's shooting for because it means you won the year before.
Well, it makes it an awful lot tougher to win that way because everybody, as you say, will be ready for us next year. They'll all be pumped up and ready to play against us, but that's just another challenge that we have to accept and have to meet, and hopefully we'll be able to do it.
Bruce, thank you very much for coming by. Go join the celebration.
Thank you.
All right, Bruce Parker, head coach of the Montclair Mounties, the 1987 state champions, and Pete Caggiano was just a very strong performance by this Montclair club. Pretty much all the things we expected. Scoring from McLean and Mandry.
Right.
Good defense from Statlander and Krupp, and a lot of depth with a young team.
Absolutely. Montclair did everything right tonight. They played well, they played hard, and as you just saw, they reflect the discipline and the respect of Bruce Parker, their coach. He has been a real guiding light to them. He took over for Don Ecclestone a few years ago. The last time they won a state championship was 1981 under Don Ecclestone, and now Bruce Parker can put one in his cap also.
And John Magadini, on the other hand, retiring this season, a fine coach, but he just could not go out a winner, Delbarton a loser in the last 2 state championship games. But Pete, the pressure starts for Montclair, I guess, from about 5 minutes ago when this game ended. The pressure is now on for these juniors to repeat.
Did you hear Bruce? He said he'll savor this moment for about 2 days and then start preparing for next year. That's the style of coaching of Bruce Parker. He lets nothing go to chance. He works for everything that he gets.
So for Pete Caggiano, I'm Paul Spahala. We hope you enjoyed this state championship game. It was a very good one. Our final score, once again, Montclair 4, Delbarton 2. The Montclair Mounties are the 1987 New Jersey High School state champions. Good night, everyone.